Hey, brothers and sisters, good morning. Just a brief feedback on what happened yesterday. We met, the church met, and so this short video is to give you a summary of what happened, because on various platforms, social media platforms, there was a live broadcast, and we have the tapes. We have a whole video of the proceedings yesterday. So the church met. It was not the way to go for the church. So we went there yesterday, not to debate. We are way beyond the debates now. We didn't go there to debate if regulation or self-regulation is the way to go. No, our minds were made up long before the 21st of March. In our various avenues of engagement, our minds were made up. We say no to regulation of religion in all its form and presentations. So we met yesterday, and somebody asked me how many people came. Enough to start a revolution. He says, okay, but then in terms of numbers, I said, look, we're somewhere between Elijah and the 300 men of Gideon and the 12 disciples of Jesus, and the three Jewish young men who said we will not bow to Nebuchadnezzar. So our numbers are somewhere between them. The millions that left Egypt, Elijah alone on Mount Carmel, the three Hebrew boys in the fiery furnace, and Jesus and his 12 disciples on the Mount of Olives. Because you see, when Jesus said 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he never said which 2 or which 3. Somebody asked me, who was there? I said, no, any member of the body of Christ who was there mattered. So we way beyond those things. Now, we looked very objectively into the process since 2015. And when the Civil Rights Commissions first came out with their commercialization of religion report, and we looked at their recommendations, and we said, look, we've been talking a lot on Facebook and all other social media. Let's interrogate what the experts are saying about this process. Let's put aside what Kotu and Muyakeni and Lichuti and Stolle and Mam Tetwa and everybody else is saying about this. Let's look at experts who are not part of our campaign are saying. We looked at reports from Freedom of Religion South Africa, the Institute of Religious Freedoms, and all that, presentations by Professor Sawa, Dr. Duplessis, and Michael Swain. They were not in our meeting. We looked at the reports there of what people have said without our influence. There is yet to be one report published that supports Togo Kaluva's crazy plan on capturing the church. So what was obvious is the plan is unconstitutional. No legal expert supports this. So our minds are made up. Beyond yesterday, there are no more debates. The debate train has left the station. We are pursuing an agenda. We reiterated yesterday, we have no interest in starting an organization. And we remain the anti-regulation summit because we are an agenda. We are a dialogue. We're not an organization. You know, conventionally, a meeting like that, it took 3.5 hours. The first 2 hours would have been on choosing committees. Who's the chair? We're not interested in those things. And nobody can claim ownership of a move of God. And it's obvious to us all that something was birthed yesterday. The church came out, and leader after leader, my Lord, leader after leader after leader, the intellectual output there, the spiritual output, the atmosphere there. Our minds are made up that we shall reject the regulation of religion in all its presentations, in all its forms, in all its repackaged appeals and all that. Our minds are made up, so we move beyond that. We committed ourselves to a specific course of action. One, right now we've just concluded a piece of work we have submitted to the constitutional experts. And although we have expert opinion, we have once more, on our own behalf, of course it's going to cost us money. You're going to have to contribute towards this, okay? Not yet. Hold on to your pants, which I'll tell you what the lawyers say. We don't want to handle your money. We are saying, here is the Civil Rights Commission's position. Here is our research position, but we seek once more for legal opinion on this matter. And then we agreed on that. But then we also agreed that we are going to petition certain individuals. We are petitioning God. This is a spiritual attack which has nothing to do with anybody eating grass or drinking petrol, or there's nothing to do with that. The issues in our minds, in the minds of the house, because this is way beyond personal opinion, was that the issue of the so-called corruption in the church and the drive to regulate the church are mutually exclusive. One has nothing to do with the other. We believe that there are enough law enforcement agencies to deal with that. And listen to what he's saying. We are saying, everybody's saying, yeah, but then the CLRAD has put the suggestion on the table, and the proponents of regulation have, what do you put on the table? There's nothing to put on the table. There is nothing wrong with religion. There is nothing wrong with the taxi industry because the taxi driver hit someone. Call the cops. We are resolute on this stance. Don't force us to offer solutions to problems we don't see. There is no problem here, and it is way beyond our personal debate. We have gone into international law. We have gone into the archives of the United Nations. We have looked at the Declaration of Human Rights and all that. We have gone into legal documents. There is nothing wrong with religion that needs to be regulated. As a matter of fact, to prove our case, the Civil Rights Commission is proposing a change to the Civil Rights Act and a change to the Constitution. Because if you change the Civil Rights Commission's mandate, it affects the Constitution. That's how upset their plans are. For them to implement what they're running with now, it can never be done within the present legal framework. Now you tell me if there is intelligence in what they're saying, when religion is more than just a constitutional right but a human right. Don't forget that according to the Declaration of Human Rights of the United Nations, it has been established that in billions of people's lives, religion is not a personal choice. People are born into religion. People don't choose religion. And now it's a basic human right. We have a right to believe what we believe in and to associate with anybody who shares that belief. So it's completely unconstitutional. So we are going to petition God on this one. We're going to be setting up prayer days and prayer movement and all that. We already have groups, and if you want to belong to any of the WhatsApp groups we have set up there, just send us a WhatsApp on 079-695-8908 and just tell us that, look, I want to be part of what is happening here. Now, and then we said we're going to petition the very parliamentary portfolio committee, the COCTA committee, that said no to Ms. Kaluva's recommendations. Remember, her own portfolio, the CRI's portfolio committee in Parliament said, no, this is, go and consult. You can't do this. So we are going to petition them. We're going to submit to them our petition. We're also going to petition the minister, the COGDA minister, We think it's courteous that he knows what you're up about, what on about. But we're also going to be courteous enough to send our correspondence to the Civil Rights Commission that in case you thought this is what we see, we're going to do that. And then we're going to prepare, if the media, if the conventional media won't hear us out, we shall use social media. But we are preparing our response because we realize that a lot of misinformation has gone into this process. And there's been an over-sensationalization of things, and the media thrives on hype and sensationalizing things, and a lot of it is not factual. So we're going to do that. But we're going to be courteous enough to afford the proponents of regulation some contribution. So we're going to do that. And the highlight of the day really was us agreeing as brothers and sisters to go on a national information drive. We're hitting the road now. We have selected specific days to go into the country, into the nation. Our next meeting is the 27th of April, Freedom Day. Then comes the 16th of June, Youth Day. Then the 9th of August, Women's Day. And the 24th of September, which is Heritage Day. We'll have gone around the country. Right now, we shall be notifying you if we are coming into your city. But we are open also that if you say, look, our city can choose one of those days and organize. We can gather the believers there. We have a venue, and come and tell us what you see. And we are prepared to come, because what we found yesterday, which was not just peculiar to yesterday, is a lot of people had decided on regulation before they understood the facts and the legal implications. And a lot of people stepped forward and said, we came here in complete opposition of your initiative. But upon realizing what you really stand for factually, yesterday we laid the facts on the table. And this is what they are saying, and this is what legal opinion is, and this is what the law says. So if you're one of those people who say, look, you can come around here, let us know. The number is 079-695-8908. And the highlight of the day really was the Albertine Declaration. It's a living document. And if you want a copy of the Albertine Declaration, 079-695-8908, and we shall try to post it on social media. And that's when we stood and said, this is our commitment. Nothing binding. We're not talking about qualifications of preachers and need for structures. This is our commitment, because everybody calling for regulation does not even know what the church is going to have to do, except that government will be in control. We said this, we bind ourselves to this moral code. We bind ourselves to this ethos. We bind ourselves to these values. And section 17, 10:11 says, beyond this, we commit ourselves no further to any other thing. Beyond us saying, this is what the church stands for, we are not prepared to put anything on any virtual or actual table. Because to start with, there's no table at all. We find nothing wrong with our belief. So, brothers and sisters, in a nutshell, that's what happened in Albertine. We are most thankful to those who organized this, most thankful to those who came. We had leaders from various congregations, and there was more than just excitement. There was a commitment to fight a good fight of faith. We are saying we don't have to be organized to be recognized. Freedom of association and freedom of religion are our right. It's not a right we have to fight for. It's a right Civil Rights Commission and its supporters have to fight to take away, because that right was afforded us by the scriptures. That right was afforded us by the Constitution. But that right was afforded us by various international covenants at United Nations level. What people don't realize is South Africa is a member country to the United Nations. And at that level, there are treaties, there are covenants that bind South Africa. And one such treaty is on religious freedom and freedom of association. So the South African government can never turn around and say, okay, look, we take that away because they are violating the covenants of the United Nations. We are prepared to go to any international platform. There was a time we thought we shall go only to Constitutional Court. We are prepared to campaign. Praise God. And fortunately, some of us in our past lives have campaigned internationally. We travel the world for various causes, so we know where to go. We know how to mobilize. We know how to advocate. We are prepared to take this battle beyond the South African boundaries. We are prepared to make direct appeals to the United Nations if this matter is not resolved within the boundaries of South Africa. May the Lord greatly bless you and keep you. And we will notify beyond this day. We shall notify. We are not an organization. There is no registration, no chairman. We are not. Who are you? We are the Anti-Regulation Summit. We are engaged in dialogue that seeks to protect our religious freedom and freedom of association. May the Lord greatly bless and keep you. Let's keep the lines open and let's keep talking. Bye.